Well, I decided to enjoy some luxury since it's my time off. It's a new hotel in Cambridge, Ontario, Canada. Never been here before because it's more expensive than regular. Regular places I go to. But we shall see, shall we? What do I have here? So cost was $110 Canadian. I don't see anything special. Small bathroom, but carpets look new. Okay, now we're focusing. Sorry about that. And tomorrow I'm going to the wanted to go somewhere for to do my photography, since it's been a while since I used my Nikon. I carried with me all the time. Oh wow, look at the TV. That's a big that's a big mother. Oh wow, look. Big desk. So this is clearly like designed for, you know, for a business person. And my favorite, pretty much noiseless air conditioning. You know, come on, 21st century, right? That's what it should be. You set the temperature, and you see, even though it's Canada, it's all in Fahrenheit. Heat, auto. See, I can play with the temperature. But for now, we can just. I'm gonna shut it off because I don't want to hear that noise on my video. And that's Best Western. We're right next to Best Western. Like, that hotel has been here like, I don't know, 20 years, 30 years. And if you remember, I talk about this. That's where my career started as a trucker. Back in 2005, Challenger Motor Freight paid for me to be here during orientation, so I spent 3 nights at that hotel. This was, I think it was August 2005. And this is Hespeler Road. On the other side, that's a shopping center. There's Walmart over there. See Walmart, there's Staples, Best Buy. It's a very nice location, except of course the air here. Like, that's 401 over there. Well, you cannot see it, but well, under the bridge you can see some slow-moving traffic under the bridge on the other side. Like, the traffic moves very bad towards the left side of the phone. And if you remember, like, one video I did when I was, I think it was Gas City, Indiana, and I was complaining about the windows. Now that's what it should be. You see? These are dual windows, and each window has 2 panes. See my finger? I cannot go outside. That means that it has 2 panes. You see? And even though that's a very busy road in here, well, I can still hear it, but not as bad as in that Gas City. They just had 1 pane, and there was that freeway. 69 was pretty bad. Okay, and what we're doing today is the first time you guys whoever subscribed to my look at this. What is this? Oh wow, I guess this is for some strong drinks, and I just happen to have my favorite wine. You want to know what's... I just, you know, I try to quit. I love wine too much. So, red wine. So this is the favorite wine of Heavy Haul TV and SERGEI DRATCHEV. Just I'm not fat, but it's called Fat Bastard. Alright. And so what we're doing today is we're creating the first premium first piece of premium content. Okay, let me just switch to a different view here on the screen so that I can see myself. Hi, so I changed my screen orientation. And the topic of today's video is, hold on. Money. A lot of people have been bugging me about this, and I did a few videos about I think it was called owner operators income, right? But then a lot of people did not like this idea. People were saying that I was crazy not talking about this, but all in all, really, I was just trying to help, give people an idea, but then it was often taken out of context, especially since I'm not in the States. So I'm doing this now, but only for my premium members of HHTV. But I just wanted to voice a couple of reservations. First of all, because I'm Canadian, my tracking is done either inside Canada or between Canada and US, never inside US. For that, I would need someone to get me a work visa, and I'm talking to a couple of guys about this. If I can work as owner operator with my own truck and trailer for an American guy. So if I can get a work visa, then I can move loads inside US, and of course there's like, I don't know, 50 times more loads for my trailer inside US as opposed to what I'm doing now. So you will see the numbers. I could probably make, I don't know, 3 times more money if I could move loads inside US. So that's reservation number one. My specific trucking area of expertise is Canada to US, inside Canada. And yes, in case you're new, this is heavy haul. I have a 3-axle plus 1 4-axle trailer and 4-axle truck. So in theory, I can move loads up to 100,000 pounds payload, right? So reservation number one, because I know a lot of my, like 65% of my viewers are Americans, and then there's like 6% Australians, and I think about 15% from Canada. And so reservation number two is currency. I've been debating whether to convert the money into US dollars. But one thing you should understand is that because this is a different country, right? I'm in Canada, and even though a lot of Americans think that it's just part of US, it's not, because all the rules here are different. So we have healthcare, which is free, and when they say free, it means that they give you this for free, but they take money from somewhere else. Specifically, our gas, our diesel fuel, and our liquor and all spirits and wines are more expensive than in the States, right? So it's the same thing. Like, you know, either you have health insurance and then you have cheap gas, cheap fuel, cheap wine, cheap vodka, or you have free healthcare, so to speak. But then you have to pay through your nose for most consumer items, you know? On the other hand, yeah, and so our Canadian dollar is about 75-76% of its US counterpart, right? So if you come here with 100 US dollars and you go to a bank, you'll probably get around 130 Canadian dollars, But don't forget, the stuff is more expensive, right? So, and that's why I'm saying that converting Canadian money, let's say this is my statement, right? So I'm paid in Canadian dollars. Just converting this stuff, it's not accurate, because the relationship between these two currencies is very complex. You know, it's not, because I live here, right? So when I go to a store, I have to pay more money for fuel, more money for gas for my car, you know, more money if I want to buy wine, you know. Just to give you an example, this bottle, 250 ml, what is this? 9 ounce of, but it's premium red wine, cost $5 Canadian. Whereas I remember in the States, you go to any Walmart, you can buy a 750 ml of nice wine, Shiraz, for $5.75 US, right? This is, so 2 of these is $10 Canadian, or $7 US. But that's only half a liter. It's like a pint, you know. But it's good wine. It's good wine. So, and so because of that, I'm gonna just give you Canadian money, right? Though if you want, you can just, you know, multiply that amount by 0.75, and that will give you an idea in US dollars. But again, it's just, I think it's useless, you know. But 2 more things I wanted to mention, and which of course probably a lot of people were eager to hear, is since I pulled many different trailers, right? And I did work in the States with Landstar, but again, it was cross-border trucking, the same what I'm doing now. But I pulled a van, dry van, I pulled a flatbed, step deck, then I pulled a heavy step deck with 3 axles, and then finally I switched to Kaufman 3-axle 55-ton trailer, and now I have Fontaine 4-axle trailer. And just like one guy, you know, before I started all this heavy haul thing, I talked to lots of agents at Landstar or freight brokers, and I was asking them for advice. And I remember one lady, she said she had a guy who often worked with her, some American BCO, owner-operator. And he had both a step deck and a lowboy trailer. And so I was bugging this lady, the agent. I said, so which one is better? Step deck, lowboy, you know, double drop, what? And so she said, this guy has a unique situation where he can see how much money he makes, you know, specifically from each trailer. And she said when she asked him about which trailer was better, he said that at the end of the year, the money was the same. You know, it's just that your rate is higher with a lowboy or, you know, double drop trailer, but then you tend to sit on your butt for longer periods of time because it's more specialized, or you have to do more deadhead, you know, whereas with step deck, your rate is lower, but there's much more loads. But what interesting, actually, when I heard about this, that's when I decided to go with the lowboy double drop trailer, because it clearly means that you don't have to work as hard with a lowboy trailer as with a step deck trailer. So yeah, you're busy, you're running around making $2 a mile, whereas I can sit on my butt for a week and then I can take a load that pays $10 a mile and we will make the same amount of money, you know? And so that's what interesting about heavy haul. And of course, specifically, the best money you can get is with unusual loads like oversized and heavy, or it can just be wide or, you know, tall or just heavy. Like my favorite load is when it's heavy but not oversized. Then you don't need to carry any flags or signs, you know, because the load looks like a regular load. Anyway, without further ado, and I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find this on my YouTube channel. So this was the pay stub for a week of January 22nd, February 4th, 2017. And just like mentioned before, I don't get that many loads. I'm lucky when I have, you know, 3 loads a week. Mostly I do 2. Sometimes I do 1. And so I'm paid bi-weekly every 2 weeks, not like at Lancet, it was every week, so it was much better. And so it looks like this. So usually they just give me this. So one sheet tells, says there's actually 3 loads. 3 loads, and that's the gross pay. Hold on, maybe let's switch back to the other way. This is it. So 4 loads, but actually just 3, because this one, I don't know, it was just a bridge. They charged me money for the bridge, piece bridge, because that bridge charges the company, but because it's my truck, the company charges me back, right? And you see, so that's the date, right? So that's the gross rate. Again, it's Canadian dollars. Expenses mean that there were some permits, oversized permits, so they come off the top. That's what this column is, basically this one minus this one, right? And then I'm paid 78%. So you see, that's a lot of money, so the rest goes to the company. So the load starting with this much, $2,800 on 551 miles, right? And then there was, on 550 miles, basically 50 cents a mile were permits, right? And so they take it off the top, and that's what I got. But that's, so my cut was pretty much $2,000 Canadian for 500 miles, right? So that's my share. That's over $4, what, $4 Canadian. Now the second one, like I said, that's just the bridge pay for some other loads, and that load 213, you see, was $4 grand with $275 of expenses, which leaves $37.25, and that's my share, $29.05.50, right? And that one was hold on, 213. Yeah, that one was oh, it was a big tank, I think. Yeah, tank. See, 741 miles from Tompkinsville, Kentucky. If you remember, I had that big tank where I was walking everywhere, and I had to wait 1 day to get the permits. Mack truck. Anyway, so yeah, that one paid $4 grand minus $275 expenses, so I made $29.05 Canadian on 741 miles. And then the last load, and the best one so far, was that big excavator. That was the first load where I had to hook up my 4th flip axle, and this one was 81,000 pounds excavator. If you remember, I was showing there how I was lifting the axle at the end. So the big cat 335, it was just a few videos ago. So that one paid, so the miles were only 453, they're saying, but I know it's more than that. But it was going to Columbus, right, from Canada to Columbus. So it paid $4,200 Canadian. See, lots of permits because it was so heavy. 655. I'm always surprised how expensive permits are. 655 for pretty much 500 miles, over $1 a mile. And no, there was no escorts. It was just, you know, oversized and overweight permits. And so that leaves $3,500, and that's my share, $27.65, right? So my gross income for 2 weeks was $75.29.60, right? And then over here is fuel. On the left, you see the state where I bought fuel. And again, these are all Canadian dollars. So I spent $1,780 on fuel. And then $150 is, like, what I like about this company is that I don't have that many deductions, right? So once they calculate my percentage, then it's minus fuel, and that's licensing pretty much. So every 2 weeks, they charge me this money for the plate. So even though I'm running under their plate, but it's like I'm paying. It's about, what is it, like $300 every month, so that's pretty expensive. pretty much, so it's like the same as if I go and get my own plate, but I'm using their name, their authority, right? And then there's when you start the company, you see the $3,000 on the right. That's escrow, so they keep that in reserve, and I do get that money back. So otherwise, if that 3,000 was not there, I would see a deduction over here until I reach 3,000. So every company has to keep a reserve or escrow for the driver. But again, that's my money. But it's because I've been with them so long, it's already been deducted. And then 450 means that that's still left for the plate. So I guess they already took a whole bunch of money. So now what's left is 450. Or maybe that's for the transponder, because there was I signed up for annual transponder, you know, because you have to have an annual, like a thing goes on your windshield to pay for border crossing, because US Customs charges Canadians I think now it's $13 US each time you cross the border, and they used to take cash and debit cards or Visa, and they stopped doing that. So now you must have this annual kind of like permit, you know, to cross the border, and it's a sticker on your windshield, and they scan it, and I think it was over $400 for a year. So, and I'm pretty sure that's probably part of this licensing as well. And so, without further ado, so that's what dropped into my bank after 2 weeks. $55.99. Okay, $55.99. So basically, what is it? $5,600. $5,600. $5,600 Canadian. 5,600 times 75. 4,200 US. Okay. And that's what I wanted to show you guys and gals. This is the premium content I was talking about, and I hope that somebody who's really serious about heavy haul and wants to get into this field is watching this. So basically, yeah, you can make money, but again, don't forget, all these loads are booked by my dispatch, and I have to constantly call them and email them and remind them that I'm waiting for a load. And quite often I look for loads myself on public load boards, and again, I would make 3 times more money if I could move loads inside US. So if somebody watching this and you're in the States, then definitely you can make money with my kind of trailer. Canada, the same stuff, but it takes more sitting and more deadheading. Okay, so that's it. So now I have to charge all my cameras. I'm taking my GoPro, I'm taking my phone, and tomorrow I'm heading over to Toronto Convention Center to take a look at the cars, and they have some, I was reading the newspaper today, they have some cool concept cars. Some of them, this is the first time they ever been revealed in Northern America, you know. So I'm gonna do a video with a slideshow, with some pictures. So there should be some beautiful girls in there, you know, models that usually present the cars. And I'll do a video tomorrow, and I'll put it on my main channel on YouTube. So thanks for watching. Enjoy your coming weekend. Thank you for supporting HHTV.